Hey there folks, Caleb Downing with SDI, and today I'm going to show you how I personally go about sighting in a new pistol with a red dot. Let's get into it. Okay, so the stuff that I use, the tools that I use, this is a rangefinder. You need some form of way to measure things, maybe just pace it off in estimated yards, but some kind of rangefinder, some kind of target. I like to just use regular white paper with the sticky things on it, just makes sense. Stapler for your targets. Ammo, don't forget ammo and magazines, obviously your pistol, and then again a nice little screwdriver for adjusting your sights. All right, something else that you can do with that I already did at the house is I bore sighted this, or I used a laser bore sighter, so a laser that goes down the barrel, and I got the red dot slaved to that laser. So we should be close, but right now we're at about 7 yards or something like that. I'm just gonna make sure for sure that we are close enough to be working with stuff. I don't care about this distance measuring it. Once we get back to 25, that's when I will worry about actually making sure I'm at a correct distance. But these are the first rounds that I'm gonna put through this gun. So if it's jamming up and everything, don't blame a whole bunch of stuff. It's a brand new gun, Cerakoted, all this other stuff. So bear with me here, but we're at about 7 yards. We'll just see if we're anywhere close to being on target. Yeah, I would call that on target. I don't know if you can see that or not, but we are right inside the, we're touching the red of the bullseye. I think that's pretty good for now for where we're at. Let's go ahead and step back. I'm gonna say screw it. Let's go back to the 25 and just be done with it, all right? All right, so I know you can't really see the target. It is, make sure I can point at it, up on it with a gun. It is over there. See, I'm pointing at it right there. Anyway, we're down there. It's got one shot on it from that's like 7 yards. There's gonna be some differentiation. I think that's a big word. We'll see where the differentiation, we'll see where the bullet goes. Big fancy words that I probably am using wrong. But we are at 25 yards. This is where I measured it off at. One little hintful tip you can do, and I'm sure you guys have all heard this before, turn your dot down. If you have the ability to, turn it down enough to where you can see it. You're not straining to see the dot, but it makes the dot, it makes you perceive the dot as being smaller. It doesn't really make the dot smaller, you perceive the dot as being smaller. So it's a smaller point of aim. So aim small, miss small, that kind of thing, especially when you're zeroing. All right, so let's see where we are. This is 25 yards. Let's see if I can flinch all over the place and do something crazy. All right, let's go look at it. Okay, so that 45 drops relatively a lot at 25 yards. I know I yanked one, so I'm gonna say this guy's just out. That's one. This is 2 and 3. So what I'm gonna do, I'm not gonna use any fancy dancy measuring things, whatever. I'm gonna say this is 25 yards. That's about 2.5 whatever-ish inches. So I'm gonna give it a little bit of a crank with the old screwdriver. As far as my elevation, my windage is fine. If you can see that, my windage is fine. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring this up like 8 clicks. We'll see if that does anything, and let's shoot it again. All right, you can tell I've had my coffee today because those are everywhere. I'm gonna take a breath and I'm gonna reshoot that because those are terrible and those don't really give me any information. I know that first shot, I just completely berserked it. That's this guy. That's terrible. That's that guy and that guy. What I will say is I think I went a little bit too high. So we're gonna come back down 4. All right, and I'm gonna calm down a little bit and reshoot that. So attempt number 2. All right, those all felt a lot better as far as what they were supposed to do. That's 3, 3, 3. We're still high. So I'm gonna come back down again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Basically, I'm back to where I started before, so we're gonna shoot that again. All right, so we have 4, 4, 4. We brought our 0 down to where it needs to be, but we're still a little bit to the right. So I'm going to make a slight adjustment to the left, because if you can see, most of my shots, even though they're all clustered and everything and just messed up, they are to the right. So we're gonna push this over just a little bit to the left. I'm gonna leave the elevation alone. We'll see what happens. It's our 5th round. 5, 5, and you would know better. Oh, it's right here. Completely bejanked that guy out. Okay, that's cool. But we're close. Let's I'm gonna go one more click to the left. I'm gonna shoot this one more time, as steady as I can, and if they are within a fist size at this distance, then that's fine for me. All right, some of those felt a little funky, but that's good. Okay, so we're good. So we are now, this guy right here, this guy right here, this guy right here, which means that our 0 is about right there. All right, guys, so there you go. That's how I personally zero my red dots on my pistols and stuff. I like 25 yards because I like 25 yards. For me, personally, this is how I do it. You might have a completely different feel for what you need. You might need a 17.5 meter 0 for some reason. I don't know why you need that, but that might be very important to you, that you have to have that. That's fine. I'm not gonna tell you what yardage to 0. This is just for me and for my purposes and stuff, all right? How much you want to chase this 0, that is totally up to you. If your life or your livelihood depends on being able to knock out the middle of that target, the middle of that target, then you would need to tighten this thing up, right? You probably wouldn't be shooting this gun anyway. Probably shooting a much nicer gun, but you need to tighten this up. For me, this is completely acceptable, all right, for my purposes. This pistol is primarily going to be used for testing suppressors and generally just having a 45 to shoot. So that is okay. I am fine with that, along with the whole understanding that this is a brand new gun that is still being broken in. So 0s is gonna change and everything. Stuff's gonna have to get broken and worked in and everything. Anyway, I hope that made sense. That's how I do it. The main things, just knock them down right in order. Bore sight this guy the best you can, or at least slave the red dot to your irons, right? That should get you on paper. Then start close and work your way back to whatever distance you wanna 0 at, right? That's basically how I do it. I like to shoot 3-round groups because they will tell you more than 1 round, right? If I had adjusted off of one of these that I knew that I threw, I would be chasing that thing all over the place all day. I would never get this thing zeroed. If you shoot a simple 3-round group, you can simply triangulate, which really does help you get on target a lot faster. It gives you more data. Technically a 5-round group, or I mean, if you shot a 10-round group, that would give you a lot more data, but that's just more ammo than most of us really want to shoot to 0 in an optic or something. 3 rounds for me is what works for me. Anyway, guys, I hope you found that interesting. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, let us know. If you've got a better way to do this, let us know. Do you shoot from a rest, right? Do you vise this thing down in a vise, or do you just shoot offhand? I like to shoot offhand, but I'd love to know what y'all like to do. All right, that's it. Y'all be good to be safe. I appreciate you guys. Again, Caleb Downing with SDI. Hopefully we'll catch you guys next time. See ya.